Hello, welcome everybody. It's Betsy Walker here and Jeff Ackerman.
Hey,
I'm so
good to
glad
see
you
you
joined
again.
me again. We're so excited to share some more with you all. If you've seen our previous two videos, we wanted to make this a little shorter and to give you a little bit of an understanding of how what Jeff is doing and sharing with people is actually making a difference in their lifestyle and what they can
Absolutely.
do. So we're going to get right to it.
Perfect.
Jeff, I want you to tell us a little bit about, maybe just a tad about your background and where you were at before you started getting into this kind of technology of age reversing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as a young athlete, I've always looked for the best technologies to better myself. I always wanted to be competitive and play sports my whole life. I love to play. And so I'm one of these people that if I learn something, I'm going to use that to the fullest extent. And so, working with natural doctors for 20 years, helping people that had issues. And it also was a reflection of me wanting to be better in my own, personal stuff. And I can tell you, through all the supplements and eating organic and all these different things that they tell us to do, I've never taken a product that I could feel anything. And I attribute that to me being in the gym, working out all the time, running, exercise, playing. But as I got older, I could not compete like I did when I was younger. I had back issues and I had, issues with my weight. To be an athlete, you try to be in trim shape all the time. And then just life, life gets you.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I just wanted to explain, on this technology, I didn't notice anything at first. The biggest thing that I noticed was within 2 weeks, I started waking up like a teenager again. And this has nothing to do with the sexual. What this means is the microcirculation is open and clean. And see, man, if you're not waking up like that, that means that there's a problem. Now, women have the same plumbing that men do. They have more heart disease than men do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to pay attention to these things. And so that's the only thing I noticed, up until about 2 years ago. And I've been on the technology for over 4 years now. I started noticing major differences in my body, how my body recovered. And this was incredible to me. For example, I had a rotator cuff injury from playing football. I decided to go play a contact flag team, which is a lot more rough because you're running into people, blocking, all those things. Well, I ended up hurting my shoulder so bad that I could not button my pants the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
I had a similar rotator cuff injury when I played football in college. Now, in college, it took me 90 days before I could start working out with weights.
Mm-hmm.
On this technology, we went to Vegas 5 weeks later, played in a tournament. We played 4 football games in a matter of 2 days, or 5 games in 2 days, and my shoulder was at 80%.
That's great. That's amazing.
My body healed quicker than it did when I was in my 20s. Now, why is this? Because this is the first time my body's ever gotten targeted food with no contamination.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that food is what makes blood. So the better your food, the better your blood is, which means injuries. In fact, this team that we get this technology from, some of the doctors they work with, one of them is the soft tissue expert for one of the most well-known baseball teams and a lot of other teams. He said athletes heal in a third of the time. A third of the time because you got better blood going in to clean out that injury, get rid of the issues that are going on so the body can heal quicker. So yeah, it's been incredible for me playing sports. My speed actually has gotten better like I was young again. I'm in the gym, like we were talking about. I'm doing 5 times the weight on my legs that I used to do. Upper body wasn't as hard, but when you turn 50 years old, when you're trying to push heavy weight with your legs, it's not as easy as it is when you're younger. And I can remember back, when I would do squats and things like that, it seems like the more you did it during those reps,
Mm-hmm.
you got a burst of energy, and that was gone. But now recently, that burst of energy is back for me. You know how exciting that is to be able to get out there and push the weight. Now, I'm not going to go heavy crazy like I did when I was younger because I'm smarter. I just want to be athletic. But the ability to be able to do it and feel good again,
Right.
like I can strong,
Right.
It's just such a pleasure.
Well, and I've known Jeff for a while, and just to see the excitement, that he's able to go out and play football and do the things that he loves. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
That in itself can keep us young because we're still enjoying our life, And
Absolutely.
I talk a lot about that with people I help, in terms of their movement and their bodies. It's like that is the key. You've got to stay moving. We got to keep, being active, doing the things that we love. And not give up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I also want to mention, it takes 7 years for all the cells in the body to rejuvenate themselves. That means your bones and everything.
Oh,
I had an MRI done about 2 years ago, and I had been on the technology for about 2 years. And the curvature of my spine was flat. And when she looked at that, she said, I have the beginning and I have now. And it's no longer flat. Your curve is normal, and we would not mark that anymore as an issue. And you've worked with me with my back, working with your technology. That is such a blessing, to know that my flexibility is getting back there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I've always believed that the body can heal itself if you give it the right components and also the right structure. So if you're taking care of your body from the inside, which we're talking about, the inside, and then also on the outside doing what you should do in terms of exercise and stuff, you've got the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I know you've had, we have just a quick time, you have somebody that you've dealt with that had a tremendous change in terms of what he was able to achieve having used the technology. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we had a gentleman that was trying to get life insurance. And this guy was 63 years old. And when his insurance did the blood work that they do, which is very stringent, because they want to give you life insurance if you have an issue, it came back that he had colon cancer. So this guy had a major issue in his body. And so he was denied, of course. So he got onto the technology, started working with the science team, and then he actually did the age reversal with iHercules. Now, that age reversal, after he was done with everything, came back and showed that this man was 40 years old. Of course, the insurance company did the blood work again. He got the highest rating, a $3 million policy. They said he's the youngest, healthiest veteran they've ever insured in this country.
That's crazy.
So now think about how much that saved him. This technology pays for itself when you really think about it, because you do get these breaks when you're a very healthy, fit person. And so it changed his life tremendously.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. So if it can do that for somebody aged, what do you say, was 63?
63.
63. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Imagine being 10, 15, 20 years younger in terms of what your cells look like. That's just amazing. So,
yeah. And actually, when he sent his blood to the company that does the age reversal measuring to see what your DNA says how old you are, showed that he was 68. And then after the technology, it showed that he was 40. So that's almost a 30-year difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what Jeff's talking about is a special lab that's a third-party lab, accredited and everything, that is showing these results. And I don't know, the woman who founded the lab won a Nobel Prize. So
she won the Nobel Prize, proving telomeres at the end of the DNA code is your true biological age. It's like the cap at the end of a shoestring. As that gets old, it frays, and then the shoestring's not good anymore. Well, the same thing with your DNA. It continues to replicate. Once that cap's gone, there's no more replication, which means that's the end of your life. So if we can keep that longer, healthier, then you're younger. And so that's what they're measuring in the blood. And all you do is you send your blood to them. They tell you how old you are in your blood, and that's it. They don't know what you're doing. They'll recommend vitamins or healthy lifestyle and things like that, but they don't know what you're doing. They're just measuring your blood. And so we did this through this lab with over 1,500 people. Every one of them had an issue. Every one of them were older than their birth age, and now they're much younger. And so it's a measurable thing.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. I just want to invite you all to try and, connect with me if you want to know more about this technology. I'm spreading the word because I, as you know, feel so passionately about helping people live, healthier, longer, and better. That's all what it's all about. So
exactly.
Thanks again, Jeff, for stopping by and sharing some more.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We look forward to doing more of these and
absolutely,
and getting people their healthiest to live their best. All right.
That's right. Take care.